Hello everyone, welcome back. Today in this video we are going to create a custom spinner, and instead of the spinning image we are going to use different images which we will be using from lightning icons. So let's get started. I have already logged into my Salesforce org for that, and if you don't have any Salesforce org yet created or in developer org, you can check out my video which is already there in this channel. This is the component which we are going to create. It's image loader, and if you click on click me, this is the loader which we are going to show, and it will show please wait as well, and after that it will show the message. So to create a lightning component, there are two ways. We can use VS Code, or there is one extension which is a Google Chrome extension. We can use that. So as we can see, we don't have any extension in this particular browser yet, so I'll just open another tab and type Lightning Studio, and I'll click on the first link. After this I'll click on add to Chrome and add extension. So the reason why I'm using Lightning Studio extension, because I don't have VS Code installed on my laptop. I will install it, and most probably I'll share the video also on this channel. So now that we have added our extension, we can go back to Salesforce org. Just close this real quick, and we can see this extension icon here. Click on it and you'll be able to see Lightning Studio. Once we click on Lightning Studio, this will open and we have this option to create a new component. We'll click on create new component and give the name of the component which we want to create. I'll give it as image spinner or image loader. Seems good. If I mark it as true is exposed, then in our meta file also this is exposed will be true. And for this component we don't want to create any CSS file, so I'm not going to check this box. And also we are not going to create any SVG file, so I'm not going to check this box. Then for the targets, we have this option here. I'll select record page, app page and home page. These three pages I have selected. Now if I'll click on deploy, our component will be created with 3 files. As you can see, image loader is created. We have HTML file, JS file, and we have meta file as well. So this is our JS file and this is our meta file. In our meta file, as you can see, we have is exposed as true, and the targets are record page, home page and app page. So let's get started. I'll start with HTML part with my template. So I'll just create a lightning card real quick. And give the title as image loader. Close it. And inside this I'll create a div for padding. Basically these two things you can do before any component. Margin around medium. So that's about it. That's all. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my JS, and on my JS I'm going to create one property which is loading, which will check whether our loader is true or false. And at the beginning we'll give it as false. Then after that I'll create one method or function. In JavaScript we call it as function. After we create our function, we are going to check the condition that if it's not this dot loading is loading, the property name is loading, start it. So if it is not loading, then this dot is loading will be marked as true. Give it a space. And after that we are going to write our else condition. else this dot is loading is equal to false. And that's all we have for now. We have created our property and we have created our spinner. Now on click of a button we have to show our spinner. So what we are going to do is we'll create a button. So we have created one property and we have created our function. So after that, below div we are going to create a button. So on click of the button we are going to show the loader. Okay, this is our scenario, that on click of, because right now we don't have any data coming from anywhere or any other functionality which we have implemented. So we are going to take a basic example that on click of a button we are going to show the spinner. So for that we are going to create a lightning button. What have I written? Lightning button, and it's the best part of this extension that it gives everything to us. So with lightning button the variant is base and the label is click me, and the title also we can give as click me. Then on click we are going to call this function show spinner. So we are going to quickly paste it here. Show spinner function we are going to call, and the label is click me, variant is base. So we can change the variant from base to brand. It will come in blue color. So now we have created our button, and on click of that button we have to show the spinner. So as you can see we have not yet created our spinner. First we can move this down here so that every element or every tag can have its margin, around margin should be there. Then what we can do is we can create a spinner, and for creating the spinner we have this tag lightning spinner. Okay, so we have this spinner, and after this what we can do is above this we can create a template for choose if true, and here we can give our property. If this is true, then we are going to show the spinner. I think it makes sense. Remove this, cover it here. So if this is true, then we are going to show our spinner, and for false we have not written anything. So I'll just click on save and deploy. Okay, one thing is this miss from my end. Deploy. Okay, so the component is successfully deployed. I'll just go to my org and I'll go to my home page. Sales application I'm using for this demo. Click on edit page, add the component to our home page. We'll go to setup and click on edit page. After we click on edit page, our lightning page will open. Now I'll check for the component. We have our component here, image loader. The page is loading, so we'll just wait. I'm going to add my component here. Save. Just go back. So this is our component on our page. If we click on this button, then this loader will come. This is a standard loader of Salesforce, and as you can see, we don't know like when it will stop. so it will keep on loading. So for that I'm going to just add 5 seconds timer, that for at least for 5 seconds it should load. After that it should not load, it should not show the spinner. So I'm going to open my Lightning Studio. I'll go to JS, and here we have written the code for is loading is equal to true. So after this, what we are going to do is we are going to use a function called set timeout. So I'll just hit enter and set timeout. Just create this method, and we are going to create an arrow function for this. We're going to create an arrow function for this here. After that, brackets, enter. So this dot is loading is false. We just said that we have to set it as false, and I think that's all. We'll just set this as false. After the time, here we are going to pass our second parameter, which is time. It is 5 seconds. Basically it's 5 seconds, so we're writing it as 5000 because it is in milliseconds. It accepts the value in milliseconds. So I'll click on save and deploy. Go to the page, it's still loading. I'll just refresh the page. Click me. So it should stop after 5 seconds. See, it stopped. If we'll click again, it stopped after 5 seconds. So we're just going to change our UI a little bit. We are going to center align our title and our button. For that I'll go to our HTML file. Here we cannot align it, so I'll just only lightning card will be there, and I'll create a new div, then class will be SLDS text align center. Div. So inside this div, I'm going to create a slot, and I'm going to give the name as title. This is the closing tag for slot, and inside this again I'm going to create a div for heading, which is class, and SLDS text heading medium, and this is the closing tag for div. Enter, and inside this we are going to write our title, which is image loader. So this was for our title of the card. Then the another thing was for our button. So for our button we are going to create a div after this template div, and we are going to create a class with SLDS align absolute center. I'm going to close it. This is the closing tag of div, and it will be closing here. So I think we are good. We'll just deploy it again. So now we have our title and our button. Everything is working fine. Have our image loader here. If we click on it, it will go after 5 seconds. Now what we are going to do is we have to show the images instead of this loader. So we are going to search for our icons from SLDS, lightning icons. This is the first link for icons, which is lightning design system. And here we can find n number of icons. So I'm going to choose from utility itself. I'll choose activity and open my notepad++ real quick. Activity we have chosen, and I think I'm going to go with the anywhere chat. Okay, so we have 5 icons which we have chosen from utility. So now the next step is to go to JS file. We'll go to our JS file and create one property which will store our current icon. So the first icon which we want to store, we can write here. So it will start with utility colon, and the first icon will be activity. We'll just copy paste this here. That's all. Now we are going to create one array of icon names so that we can store those icons in our JS itself. We can do this using CSS as well, but for this video I'm doing it with JS. So I'm creating one array which is icon names, and here we go. First I'll be choosing this itself, utility activity, and then second, third, fourth and fifth. So for the second one we will be using anywhere chat, right? So this is the one which we will be using. After this put one comma, and second will be third, you will be using data cloud, comma. Fourth we will be using Einstein, comma, and fifth we will be using emoji. No comma after this because this is the last item. So after this we have to create one more function which will store the current icon. So after this is the else part, and this is the function. Show spinner function is ending here. So we are going to create one more function which is change icon, and it will iterate over our array. So we will check the current index, and in the current index we are going to store this dot icon names, and index of is a function of index of is a function of array, and here we are going to store this dot current icon. So current index is the newly created property, and this dot icon names is this array which we created, and current icon is the first index. So we are fetching the first the index of this element, this element which is present in the array. So in the next step, what we are going to do is we are going to take current index and we are going to increment it by 1. Current index plus 1, then we are going to take a mod of it, and this dot icon names dot length to get the complete length. Then this dot current icon, this dot current icon is equal to this dot icon names and current index. So after that we are going to set the timeout using the arrow function, and inside this, if this dot is loading is true, then we have to change our icon. Test dot change icon method itself. So what it will do is it will change. We are initializing it because we want to change our icon after every 1 second. So for that, what we need to do is we need to pass second parameter as 1000, because for 1 second it is accepting the value in milliseconds. I think that's all. Then after that, in the next step, what we are going to do is we are going to call this method which we have created here inside. After this is true, our show spinner is marked as true, then we are going to call this method to change the icons one after another. Then we will go back to our HTML, and in our HTML we have commented, okay, we have not commented this code. We will comment our spinner because we don't want to show our spinner anymore. We will use the newly created property. So for that, what we need to do is we will use lightning icon tag, and inside the lightning icon tag we will use icon name is equal to the second property which we created, which is icon, current icon, and I'm going to make the size as large. Then it will be lightning icon. I hope that's all. I don't think we have to do anything else. Okay, so I'll just deploy this code. After this, if we click on click me, then this icon is coming. I think we are not able to see the bunny icon. Yeah, what did we include the bunny? Anywhere chat. Activity also. Sure. Okay, I think we are not seeing this data cloud. We will choose dislike instead of data cloud. Now we can see our dislike button also. So once you click on it, this. So once we click on it, we are seeing all our icons here, and we want to show it in the center. So to show it in the center, I'll just go back to my HTML file, and inside the HTML, what I'm going to do is above icon, I'm going to add one more div, class SLDS align absolute center. Now we can see it in middle, in the center. One more thing which I'm going to add is one more div, class center align, and here I'm going to add Please wait. Dev close. So now along with the image we will get this message as well. Please wait. Please wait. Now one more thing what we want to do is, after this loader is finished, like after 5 seconds, we want to display our text or whatever we want to display. For that, what we are going to do is, I'm going to create one more property. Show text, and this show text is inside show spinner. What we are going to do is, when the timeout is false, show text this dot show text equals welcome to SF dev channel, semicolon. So I think here we are done with it. But so when our template is false, in that scenario what we are going to do is, we will create one more template tag after this template. If false is loading is false, this is our template closing tag, and inside this I am going to create one div class for center alignment, of course, SLDS align center, and inside this I'm going to create a p tag and copy our property name which we created, which is show text. Close our p tag here, and I think that's all what we want to achieve. Just give a break as well, would be good for the visibility. Deploy our component and go back to our org. Once we click, then we will see our loader and we will get our message, welcome to SF dev channel. So that was all in this video, and if you liked the video you can like it and subscribe to the channel.